Good afternoon, everyone. It's an interesting Monday, a Monday where we do not have too many persons up and about because it's Easter Monday. What makes it more interesting is that Ramadan is equally on. So it's a holy beginning to the new week. My name is Shegun Dwanyo and you're welcome to Punch Sports Extra. I have my co-driver with me here, Abiodun Adewale, and together we'll be giving you tidbits, things that happened in the world of sports in the past, and we'll be looking forward to the future. Good afternoon to you, Bjorn.
Good afternoon to you, Shegun. Happy celebration to you. And to everyone out there as well.
To all of us. I mean, basically, I think we'll have more persons behind the screen because most persons will be enjoying their Monday. It's an unusual Monday, really. All right, let's begin with the English Premier League, and where best to begin than what we do. The game we had yesterday between Manchester City and Arsenal. Of course, you can get a copy of Punch Sports Extra. You get lots and lots and lots of juicy scoop plastered on the front page of our newspaper and even our other pages. But very quickly, Bjorn, I think it was dull. I think it was drab. I think both managers were trying very hard to outdo the other, but they were also confident with what they had, which was a point. Nobody was trying to overdo so that you will not eventually underdo. What do you feel about the
well, in the spirit of the month that we have, we say that kind of result, we call it Aram football. But like you said, on the other hand, it's more of a point gained for a team like Arsenal than 2 points dropped. But then, if you look at it in the title race, just like you said, nobody was trying to outdo each other. But I think some particular players on the field were trying to just do their job and follow it to the letter. And that's the guys in the Arsenal defense. They were just on top of their game and magnificent and stopped everything that was thrown at them by the Manchester City midfield and the attack. And they foiled every attack of Manchester City in that game. So no disrespect to Arsenal and their fans. But I think this kind of game is the kind of game that proves that they have truly come of age, coming up against Manchester City, going toe-to-toe, having beaten them already this season. And they probably will have done a double if they nicked anything. But then for Gabriel Jesus and his shenanigans up front, it was not decisive as much as it should. Maybe he should have got one. Maybe it could have been an upset. Maybe it could have been a double over City for Arsenal. And look at who are in charge, the apprentice and the boss. So it shows that there's been a lot of confidence in this Arsenal team coming from Mikel Arteta. And having lost the title last season, they must have learnt the hard way. But it's just still crazy that the race is even more stiff. It is even stiffer this season.
Both of them are 2 points below Liverpool.
Below Liverpool at the moment. So it's not just about them and Manchester City again. They'll just have to still be looking out for Liverpool at the top of the table. And with the running that we have, looks like the guys from the red side of Merseyside have the easiest run of games. But there is a particular team also from North London who will determine what happens between the three of them, because Spurs will still play Liverpool, they will still play Arsenal, and they will still play Manchester City.
All right, away from that topic on our front page, we should talk about the goal first Nigerian players scoring this weekend. Chuba Akpom getting a brace.
Uche Nakanu in the US.
Uche Nakanu as well getting being on the score sheet as well. Terry Murphy in the French league. I mean, 50 goals he has now.
Landmark.
Just 4 goals less than the highest scoring in Nigerian in the French league in person of John Utaka. So I think it's just a matter of time. Over the weekend, I think it was a good one for Nigerian lads all over.
Of course, that was why we said go first. And it all began on Saturday with Jennifer Echegini, one of the Super Falcons players that will be in camp
this week,
scoring a hat-trick for Juventus. And in 8 games this competition in this season, she has 8 goals for Juventus, and she only moved before the start of the season.
If only she could be a part of the meal team.
If only, because it seems that the goals have dried up. But then we all know it's a different ball game. Just like we said, Chiamaka Nnadozie will have been as good as the Super Eagles goalkeeper, but then it's just on the side. But good one for the ladies. Over time, since their World Cup performance in Australia and New Zealand, individually, they've been able to build on their they've been able to leverage on the success they enjoyed as a team at the World Cup, individually at club level, and that was why someone like Echegini even got that move to Juventus in the first place. Asisa Tushuala bowed out of FC Barcelona Feminine in style and moved to the US as well. And surprisingly, Michel Alozi, who plays as a right back for the Super Falcons, was used in the attack by Ustin Dash on Sunday in their game against Asisa Toshuala's BFC. So it shows how much these ladies have evolved and have grown. While Uche Nakanu also scored a historic brace in the NWSL in America, the fastest brace you would ever see. In 3 minutes, he scored the first goal on the 3rd minute, and in the 6th minute, she added the second to complete her race. But good for her, not good for her team. They drew the game 2-2, and they are here to win this season. And of course, we have 4 Nigerians in the NWSL at the moment. And they are really rubbing shoulders. Let's just see how things pan out and this weekend, and let's see if that energy will also come into the national team as they bid to go to the Olympics for the first time since London 2012, in a very long time.
Wow. All right, now to the FA Cup. The FA Cup in Nigeria. Enyimba lose, Insurance, Ikorodu City win state titles. I'll be particular about Lagos because I didn't expect Ikorodu City to win. When Sporting Lagos lost to Inter Lagos, owned by one of these young guys around. I mean, I assumed, perhaps it's Inter Lagos time to shine. But indeed, Ikorodu is where the boss is. In Yoruba now, Ikorodu Logawa. And they won it, I mean, surprisingly.
Surprising. No wonder they call themselves the Oga Boys and all of that. So, talk about Inter Lagos and their rivalry. Maybe not yet built with Sporting Lagos. Inter Lagos play in the NNL, Sporting Lagos play in the NPFL. When they met in the semi-finals, everyone said, wow, this derby is coming really soon, sooner than expected. And Inter Lagos, surprisingly, stunned Sporting Lagos and moved on straight into the final. I think what ticked for Ikorodu City in that final has been the cohesion that they've had over time.
This is a new club.
It's a new club as well. And they are the champions of the Lagos State FA Cup too. So it's 2 titles back to back for Ikorodu City. So they've been able to build a team over time in just 2 years. And they look like a team that has been playing well over a long time. And they are aspiring to come into the Nigeria Premier Football League as well. They are looking very good in the NNL table. Going into the playoffs, let's just see how they will be able to muzzle and go through the waters of the playoffs.
That process.
We want to see them in the Nigeria Premier Football League. So if we see Sporting Lagos in the league, let's hope they retain their status. Hopefully. They look like they will. Inter Lagos are also looking good in the same group.
They're trying to come up as well.
In the same group as Ikorodu City in the NNL. So imagine 3 teams from Lagos in the Nigeria Premier Football League. It only means that there has to be more stadium for these guys to play, because all of them currently play at the Mobola
Unicon Stadium. Asisat Oshuala, the Agbabola, expected on Thursday for the very important clash between the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Banyana of South Africa. Of course, you said earlier, she's doing great things with her new club. Scored the first goal for BFC. 4 Nigerians there in the US. I mean, with our girls doing great things all over the place. Rashidat in Spain, Egbejini in Italy. Look at all of them doing massive things. Is it likely we are going to Olympics this time around?
The team is, they look like they are primed for a spot at the Olympics. But at the other hand, too, when the chances of going to Olympics are about 60–70%, the remaining 30, on the other hand, looks bloated because it's South Africa. The Banyana, who have always known how to get the better of the Super Falcons when it's very important. They've beaten us. We've beaten them to the title, to the WAFCON title before. But then, at the last edition in Morocco, they showed us that dominance, it's not something that we would have to keep over time, especially if we were at the level that we were. But thankfully, the Falcons have not been on that same level. We both reached the round of 16 at the Women's World Cup. But everybody
our loss was more painful.
Then, the whole of Africa knew what the Super Falcons did to get to where they were and how they even missed out on progressing. So it doesn't look like we're on the same level at the moment. But it looks like the Falcons perhaps also paint by not going to the Olympics in a very long time now. So this ticket looks very precious to the girls and coach around the wardrobe. So for Aziza, it's been expected on Thursday. Well, surprised or not surprised, maybe to me, at 29 and getting closer to
the end of her career.
To the end of her career, I think this time around she's putting some more energy in club football and national team these days. I'm not surprised that she comes on from the bench to make whatever impact she has to make on the team. So, but I believe for her to still be invited, she's still a very, very important part of the squad. So, if she's coming on Thursday, there must be some explanation between her, the coach, and the federation as well. So I think should be no cause for alarm. The captain band currently resides with. We still have a lot of defenders, experienced, and a blend of young players and experienced defenders. And of course, the goalkeeper always reliable. But Banyana will be in town today, and they will start training tomorrow, just as the Super Falcons will also start training today as well. So let them just beef up, because the first leg in Abuja comes up on Friday, but then we should expect another tough test when we go to Pretoria next week Tuesday to face them in the second leg. So let's just do our work and finish your work here.
So just go there and chill. All right. As we round off, Pioli, Leao, Eu, Samuel, Chukwueze. For Chelsea, Palmer slams Chelsea teammate. We'll be going into the EPL analysis, but quick one. Was that right? There was a there was a video yesterday that trended yesterday evening after on Sunday, the Chelsea game, and we could see several chances fluffed by Palmer himself. Opportunities that he could have passed to Conor Gallagher, opportunities that he could have laid forward for Jackson. And then many persons were saying, if anybody will be complaining, it should not be the man that is missing chances.
Maybe the man that is missing chances, and at the same time, is the man that is doing the most.
Yes, of course.
In terms of what he contributes in terms of goals and assists. So maybe he has the right, but looks like a golden boy of the team as well.
Obviously.
But then when the team is consistent, like consistently not doing well in the league, there is no golden boy per se. It's just like one a man with one eye
amongst the blind.
Amongst the blind.
You have to feed everybody.
So he has to feed everybody. So I think maybe he should just channel his energy into doing more for the team and just not focusing on the lapses of his teammates.
All right, now let's get into the affair, the program proper now. English Premier League, we've discussed the City versus Arsenal game, and Biodun was saying that, hey, glass half filled more than half empty for both managers. Of course, it would have been disastrous for both of them to have gone yesterday without a point. Liverpool had to fight to get 3 points against Brighton. Mohamed Salah has got the highest number of shots ever, but he just could get a goal.
Well, he could have got two. One was ruled out. But then, Liverpool generally, in 7 games this season, they've come from losing positions to win. And that is the most in the Premier League this season. So it's some kind of character that you see. And when your manager is also living at the end of the season, winning one of the trophies that has eluded the team in the most painful manner, at least on 2 occasions that we've seen, will be one of those ways to sign out. So the hopes of winning 4 titles is gone already. They've lost in the FA Cup, but they could still win the Premier League, they could still win the Europa League, and add to the Carabao Cup in which they've gone. So advantage was thrown to them yesterday. They could have gone, for me, Liverpool should have gone maybe like 4 points clear at least if they had not dropped points in some games that they did before the race even got to the battle between the 3 of them. So at this point, the advantage has been thrown back to them now. I just hope they will be able to ease in game by game until the end of the season. So we've had game 30. So
29.
29.
Yeah, 9 more games.
9 more games
them, for City and Arsenal.
For all of them. So let's just see how they run in. And with just 2 points, they've lost the league by 1 point.
Before.
So if they could also win by 2 points better than the rest.
If they win all their games, now they're champions.
They're champions.
Just win all your games.
Just win all your games. Focus on your games. Forget about the results.
Forget about your opponents.
So, so it's just the running. So it's more about the character from Jurgen Klopp's men for me. And that might be what will end them the title.
All right, Angel Postecoglou, I hope I didn't murder the name, manager of Spurs. They were able to grind out a 2-1 win over a Luton side that are fighting not to get relegated. Burnley as well, you could see them fighting hard to get points. But hey, when you get to game week 30, game week 29, it's looking like it's almost done. Or do you think a miracle can happen to the guys at the bottom?
Well, if any miracle will happen, maybe another team will get docked for points. It's the points deduction on Nottingham Forest that is giving some of these teams the hope that they will fight and climb. Good for Everton now. They are clear.
Yeah.
But for Nottingham Forest, they are not cleared yet. They've just appealed their points deduction. And so
they are still above the guys.
They are still above the guys sitting there, but then the number of points now between them has now reduced, and it gives the teams like Luton the hope that they could just fight back. But for me, for a team like Burnley, maybe a little bit too late. Sheffield United, forget about it. So Burnley, Luton, maybe a slim chance of survival, but it depends on what Nottingham Forest are able to do. Nottingham Forest at the moment must fight to ensure.
Can they fight?
When
he is injured.
That is one of their problems, and their fans they've lost patience with this guy and other players in the squad already. But I'm glad about the fact that they know he could save them just like he did last season. So I guess they are also praying that he comes back fitter and he stays fit until the end of the season.
All right, an interesting one tomorrow, next and Thursday. Arsenal will be playing Luton. Liverpool will be playing Sheffield. You know what makes it more interesting is while these two top guys are trying to win the title, the two bottom guys are trying not to get relegated. Is there going to be a shock, especially in any of these two games?
We almost saw a shock yesterday in the game between Brighton and Liverpool. But I think that was more like an exhibition for Roberto De Zerbi as well, who is being tipped as one of the replacements for Jurgen Klopp too. But against Sheffield United, Chris Wilder, he's been
bottom.
Sheffield United has been wild in some games that we've seen, but then the firepower of Liverpool at this stage of the season would be massive, so they might not just be able to curtail that.
For Arsenal, Luton?
Arsenal against Luton. We saw the energy Luton gave against Spurs.
Yes.
But at the same time, Arsenal will take game by game. To have played against Man City that way, I think they will take game by game and they will just keep getting the grind. The 2 points that they have to cover might not be lost. Let's not just throw everything open like that. It might not be lost. They might not lose ground further in games against teams like Luton Town. Like you said, there is still a team that will play all of them. Maybe all of them will even beat the teams. We don't know. But then let's see how much effect this small game can have. But coming from a strong performance against Manchester City, I don't expect Arsenal to go lower against Luton Town, regardless of whatever type of relegation Luton are facing.
What is interesting is that the three guys that came from the championship last season are in the last three positions. Burnley, Vincent Kompany, Chris Wilder with Sheffield, and Luton Town. Three of them were happy last time. Three of them are in a prayerful mood as of now. If any of them don't go down, I mean, if they have to swap with somebody, Everton, Nottingham are looking close to them, and perhaps you never can say never. It's the English Premier League. Very quickly move over to Germany, where a miracle is currently happening there. They say football is like biscuits. You never know where and when it will crack. Anyways, crack it in favor of Xabi Alonso and Bayer Leverkusen. 88 minutes, they were losing 1-0. 92nd minute, check your football app or your phone. They were winning 2-1. Who else to get the goal? The winning goal this time around, but the man that has done it back to back and back to back this season, Patrick Schick. What are they eating over there in Bayer Leverkusen? What are they eating?
Mentality. I think that is what they are eating. Coming in the German Bundesliga, you would always think it's Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich and all of that. But Leverkusen started the season in a way that people have not seen before.
They've not lost a game.
Not even Bayern Munich, when they win the title, have started the season
like
the way they started. So at some point, it looks like, okay, maybe they could go on to challenge for the title, but they should be beaten. But at this point, they've not even lost. With just 7 games remaining in the league. Now they have a 13 points gap ahead of Bayern Munich. And if Bayern lose any more game, they need 3 wins at the moment to win the title. And if Bayern loses any more game, it means that they would even have to win lesser than 3 games and maybe add 1 more point, and they are champions. So they could do it in a special way. And if you have that kind of thing ahead of you, the mentality keeps eating you, and it takes a manager like Xabi Alonso to also build that. Not so old in the managerial realm now, but then he has shown that he has come of age, and look at all the teams that are keen for his signature. And good for him.
You have to say, I'm not interested, I'm staying with my people.
I'm staying with my people, at least for 1 more season. So
and they will all come along.
They will all come along. And look at what they've been able to do over time. At some point, it was our boy, Victor Boniface, who was driving this team. And at some point, when they were contemplating, he will go for the AFCON and all of that, Patrick Schick was just recovering from an injury then, and they were like, okay, if there is a fit Patrick Schick, they could throw him into Boniface's position. And look at what happened to Victor. He got injured
and was
back out for 3 to 4 months. And look at that man. He keeps delivering.
Came to the party
over time. And by the time Boniface will be returning back into the squad, it will just be a running. Let's just see off things and cap out tight. So it's incredible the kind of story they've written in the German Bundesliga, and it will be very special to see them win the title and go unbeaten. That would be very perfect.
Anyway, in Bayern Munich this time around in the capital, same cannot be said of what is happening right there. Harry Kane moved over in the summer, and people felt lots and lots of goals would definitely be coming to this team. Indeed, lots and lots of goals are coming. They are all coming in from right, left, and center. But they are 13 points adrift of the league leaders, Bayern Leverkusen. When this happened with Manchester United, and Cristiano was scoring goals aplenty, and United kept going down the log, our brethren, people who probably didn't like Cristiano enough, said it was affecting the positivity of the club. And now, the same guys that were saying Cristiano was affecting the club are hyping Harry Kane for scoring the goals, even though somehow they are not winning games as they should.
Maybe because of the part of the world that they are from. Maybe they would have also said that Harry Kane went with his luck of not winning titles to Bayern Munich as well. So maybe they would have said that is what is affecting Bayern. But then he keeps getting all the praises. And for me too, I kind of have a soft spot where I've eluded him. Even in his first game
for Bayern was
they could have won a title.
And they lost,
and they bottled it unusually. So at this point, I just look at them in the UEFA Champions League. I just feel, I hope this is your season to leave the Champions League again. They've done it. They are a strong team in the Champions League, but then they face Arsenal, one of their old customers, and one of Harry Kane's very good customers as well. But at the same time, if anything that has affected them in the Bundesliga will go with them into the Champions League, they don't stand any chance. So it's just out of sympathy that we are hoping that they do something special in that one. So, but for Harry Kane, he will just have to wait for another season. He went there to win trophies. They will just have to try again next time. And maybe it might not just be next season, because we don't know what the end of season even looks like already. So let's just hope that maybe the title you went looking for will come at some stage.
Hopefully. He will be 31 this year.
And funny thing is, they are not even contending for any other local.
Nothing. They are out.
They are just out of everything.
All right, then we move on to Spain. Is there pain in Spain? I think there's not too much of pain for Barcelona now. They're about 8 points off Real Madrid. Both teams won this weekend. 1-0. Old war horse Robert Lewandowski got the goal for Barcelona. And for Real Madrid, there was no Vinicius, but there was no problem, as Rodrigo, his partner in the Brazilian national team and the same club as well, came to the party, scoring 2 goals in front of the home fans, dispatching Atletico Bilbao.
Well, their Clásico is coming up in 2 weeks' time. I mean, in the next 2 games that they will play, it's going to be the El Clasico. And from what I heard from one of our colleagues yesterday, someone like Robert Lewandowski was on 4 yellow cards before their last game, and he had to pick up the 5th so that he could mix the next game and be available for the El Clasico. Vinicius Junior also missed Real Madrid's game yesterday and will be back for the El Clasico as well. But then 8 points between them already. I really don't see a race. I really don't see a race in the La Liga. I just see things going as if it's scripted. Let's just go this way. Let's go this way.
I think we don't give enough kudos to Carlo Ancelotti. Lots and lots of injuries. Eder Militao, Courtois.
And he had to
Militao
play
came back
makeshift
yesterday.
defenders.
At the point, Tchouaméni was playing at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, no certain striker. Joselu. Somehow, Jude Bellingham came to the party. At some point, it was
got
Vini.
suspended.
At some point, it was Rodrigo. Anyway, very quickly, we won't leave here without talking about our own Rivers United defeating USM Alger yesterday 1-0 at home. 16 corner kicks. They had lots and lots of shots on goal. USM goalkeeper was very busy. 6 saves he had yesterday. But at the end of it, 90 minutes, it was 1-0. Is that enough to take them through?
It is not. It is not enough to take them through. The only positive that Rivers United are clinging on to is the fact that last season at this same stage, they lost 2-0 at home against Young Africans. And they went in the second leg, played a goalless draw. So what they did in the second leg last season is what they are hoping to do this time around. It might not just be enough. These are South Africans. And these are North Africans.
USM
and it becomes
champions.
The champions of the CAF Confederation Cup, as a matter of fact. So it becomes a goal. When they scored the goal in the 10th minutes yesterday, I expected at least another goal. At least another goal to make it 2-0. If you are 2-0 up, going into the second leg of a crucial encounter like that, you might be a little bit comfortable and say, okay, if they score one, we'll sit back and defend and prevent them from even scoring the first goal as quickly as they want to. So, but it becomes a little bit difficult. As good as it is for them, they have a very high mountain to climb in the second leg.
All right, the good thing for them, though, is that it's raining money in Rivers United. I think it's about £1 million. Sorry, $1 million
for reaching
for getting to where they've gotten to.
Competition.
So if they move forward, perhaps I think 1.5, but $1 million. Sorry, $1 million.
And at this point already, they have already guaranteed 4 spots for Nigeria. On the continent.
We hope they can go to Algeria and do wonders. We really do hope it because these guys are good enough. Unfortunately, there's no time to go ahead. My producers are saying it's